Hi Aries, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. Hey, happy damn new year to ya! So we made it, right? We survived. We got to a new year and here we are. So for those of you that supported last year, for those of you that are here now and new subbies, thank you so much for being here. So before we get into it, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week, you have the Faith card, which is actually the Hierophant card. So in a lot of ways, Aries, you're starting the year really strong, right? You're starting the year really powerful. And in a lot of ways, this is about you finally inserting yourself into the world. Now, things are going to be interesting and they're going to be intense this year, but intense in a different way. It's not going to quite be the same as it was last year and all of the experiences that we had then. So don't worry about it, right? The fact that you have the Hierophant card here as your key to the week, it's kind of infusing your entire week with connecting with some shakers and movers. This is going to see you maybe connecting with people that are in positions of power. It could also see you in a lot of ways, it could see you really starting to build on or to create a spiritual practice right from the get-go. So this is kind of like and this is actually a really good year to do that because it's going to become really relevant and important over the course of 2022. So people that start and build spiritual practices from this year and maintain them going into next year, those are going to be the ones that really make leaps and bounds forward. So that's one aspect of this on the, the material plane, let's say. This is going to be very much about you dealing with people that can actually affect change for you in your life, or maybe for a select few of you, maneuvering yourself this week to become one of those people. So for your let's have a look for your actions and interactions with the world at large, or your actions and options, should I say. What are you doing? What are you choosing this week? You get the Chariot card, right? So if you are thinking about some sort of formal study or any form of study, actually, this is a great week to get going with it. This is a really good time to start maybe putting the plans together. For a lot of you, it looks like your plan. This is going to be quite a busy week for a lot of you Aries people, which I think you're actually going to enjoy. Now, I know a lot of people across the Northern Hemisphere anyway are still in relative lockdown. So it looks like this is an inner journey that you're taking, but certainly this is about you embarking on a quest this week and saying, right, there is knowledge and information that I need to get ahead, so I'm going to make a point of doing or gaining whatever it is that I need. And that Chariot card says that you're basically heading straight for the top, which I really, really like. For a select few of you, for those of you that don't have one already, this looks like you could be applying for or starting a course of driving lessons, or do you know what I mean? Like, this is about you saying to yourself, right, this year I'm going to get my license. Never felt important before, but then, obviously COVID hit and suddenly actually things that weren't important anymore are, and things that were important no longer are. So for your communications and conversations, you have the Seven of Pentacles. This is nice. And if you check this as well, right, you've got the Chariot card there, which is also number 7. So 2 sevens represents news. So there is news coming in for you this week. Now you've got the 7 of Pentacles coupled with your Faith or your Hierophant card there. In terms of work, in terms of profession, in terms of all of those things and that entire arena, not everybody is going to be moving at the same lightning speed as you this week, right? So you're going to have to find a way to, if you want to work on your own stuff at lightning speed, do so. Don't expect everybody else to move at that same pace with you, because it will cause a conflict this week. For your, for those of you that are employed, the best strategy that you have this week is to approach your boss and say to them, look, you know what, I want to build a plan to get ahead. if you go in and just say, right, I want a promotion or I'm leaving, they're probably going to say, okay, bye then. Right, find a way to temper that. For those of you that work for yourselves, this is about really starting to observe what your goals are and building the plans appropriately. Again, if you just rush ahead haphazardly, the chances are you'll get frustrated at how slow everyone external to you moves. And for those of you that are retired or no longer working, I actually really like this for you guys, because it suggests that you're going to start to really, this is like the slow grind, right? It's like the slow clap. It's like that, like this is you embarking on but starting a journey now, but it's going to take you time to kind of build the whole thing. For your money and materials, you have the Moon card. So finances could be a bit of a sticking point this week. This comes right underneath the Chariot card. So I'm going to say this to you, my dear Aries people. This week you could have the champagne taste, but your money says beer, right? We've all been there. We've all been there. But yeah, when it comes to the finances this week, it looks like you might want to do something that you either don't have the funds for, or the money is there, but once it's gone, it's kind of gone. So, you know, you can always make more money, but I would just be very, very cautious, especially if it's a big purchase. For those of you that are thinking about buying a new car, unless you absolutely have to, please wait until, I would say, late Feb going into March. The energy just isn't there for it. For your physical health and vitality, this is a great week. That Moon card says it's a great week for you to detox. This would be a really good week for that kind of thing. You know, we're into the new year. A lot of people do this kind of thing for resolutions, but this would be a good time to do that. And then when it comes to your home and environment, now, what I will say to you is this: if you are inviting people over, just be aware that this week buttons could be pushed. All right. So my advice to you would be, unless you absolutely have to have them, use this week to detox everything. Do you know what I mean? To look at your plans, to reiterate your plans, to get clear on things and move forward in that way. For your love and relations, you have, look at this, right? You've got the 7 of Cups. So that's 3 sevens that you have now. So 3 sevens, also known as an angelic number. Your 7 of Cups, especially coupled with the Moon card, right? This, for those of you that are partnered in relationships or long-term commitments, money is probably going to be something that causes a problem this week. The 7 of Cups coupled with the Moon card is not a good combination. It's not an easy combination. And so this is why I say it looks like money and relationships are not going to mix this week. Especially if you charge off on your own sort of horse and say, well, I'm doing this anyway. So just be aware of that. For those of you that are single, I mean, it kind of feels like there is somebody in the picture, but it's not like concrete or official. And I don't think this is the right week for you to have the talk about, you know, what are we, what aren't we? It's just not there for it. But yeah, all in all, it's a very interesting week for you guys for sure. When it comes to familial ties and relations, it looks like you're going to be called on for your help this week. And, you know, if this is your kids approaching you because they don't know what to do with your grandkids, or maybe you're approaching your parents because you don't know what to do with your kids, there's something here where two very different mindsets are butting heads. And I kind of get the impression that this week it's just going to be a very intense week for communication in general. And I think a lot of it is because you're already charging ahead with so much that you want to do, and nobody is able to really keep up with you. And I think if you really take a moment to slow it down, you might not be able to keep up with you. So just be aware of that this week, all right, so that you don't tie yourself up in knots. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. As always, have an amazing week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I will see you soon.